till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Browns. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Ready? 52's the mark, boys. 52. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, five. 51 the mic, boys.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, orbit.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Second down, Haskins. He's going to fire one deep left side, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. He was looking for Paul Richardson there.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
The 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taywan Taylor, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's Haskins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction. So now what can they do on 3rd? 3rd down. Here's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. Now Mayfield lost the football, and the Redskins scoop it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
2nd and 4 at the Browns' 38-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now the first carry for Bryce Love. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point good by Hopkins, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Back at the 33-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 7-7, our score after 1. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming.
65.
Now on 2nd and 13. Mayfield steps away, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ryan Anderson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taylor, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Fair catch, made it at 25-yard line. The Redskins take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up first and 10. On play action, Haskins. And this one complete to Reed. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On the draw, they go to Geis. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the ground, it's Geis. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one good for 26 and a first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's first and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Hey, hold on. Give up the ball. Come on, Trump. 3 down, 3 down.
This time Haskins will look to throw. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Geis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Justin Hopkins on for the field goal. A 20-yard attempt.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd. I got you. Check safety.
Point it right.
Bring it, guys.
Alert. Hey, foxtrot. What's that?
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. First and 5. Mayfield looks to throw. Flush to his right. And avoids the contact by sliding. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
180! Pistol. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now. Hey, alert 33. Hey, exit.
51. Hey, they scared.
First down, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
51's the mic. Man, that's trash.
Mayfield to throw it. Completes it to McGuire out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 25-yard line.
First down. First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Yep, 20. Hey, alert 33.
It's a pot now. Watch the six.
Run. Go.
On first and 10, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
It feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
The Redskins take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
First down, Redskins.
Watch the slant. Go. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
From midfield now, Haskins is going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Looking to throw, Haskins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 24-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He connected on his first, this from 41. Hopkins' kick is good. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A toss play to Chubb. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield off the play fake. They'll roll him out right. It's caught. Beckham. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Here we go.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Oh, Chubb fumbled it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Check. Fresno.
Up.
Mike 51.
My touch.
They go play action. Mayfield. eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete here.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Running to start the drive is Love. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On second and very short, Haskins. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So not quite out of danger just yet. Still backed up a bit, but only need a few inches here on second down. Play action. Haskins. Looking long for his tight end read. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Following the penalty, it's Geis. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Haskins out of the gun. Looking long for his tight end read. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground.
53 at the mic. Oh, here we go.
On 3rd down, Haskins. Dancing to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Joe Schobert able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now Landry. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Elsewhere, they have gone to the third quarter now in Dallas. And really pouring it on now are the Cowboys. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tend to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They go jet sweep. This is Taylor. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw, Mayfield. Flushed out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. To try again after the sack. Mayfield. He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, Team 6. Team 6.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to let this one go, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Haskins to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
3rd and 12.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. It's Geis on the counter. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They toss it left side to Chubb. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On the return, Carter. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 19-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
At the 24-yard line.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Oh, yeah. Here we go again.
Now it's Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Set, put. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. This is Geis. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Redskins on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. On third down, here's Love. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Geis, they'll try to run it. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Hopkins with the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Hey, high 7.
Mayfield now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running, and picks it up anyway. And now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. A run for Nick Chubb. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And again, it's Chubb. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
180!
I don't think you got it, son.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And it looks like he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down by about a yard. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was Baker Mayfield who led the way. The #1 pick in 2018. He showed why he was so coveted.
And it was interesting because you remember headed into the draft in 2018, the projections on where Baker Mayfield was going to go, it varied. But rarely did anyone suggest he would go #1 overall. And he did. Showed exactly why. It's not just how he plays. It's not just his arm and his vision. It's the leadership.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconception.